Hey you! What up? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. I'm Maryam and today is a brand new day and today is a brand new video in which I am going to show you the best of Fenty beauty. So the reason why I wanted to film this video is because I kind of consider myself an expert at Fenty. I have been on their PR list since the very beginning, since the first drop, the first launch. I have attended pretty much all of their industry events. I've met Rihanna several times and I have tried all of their products on myself and of course also on my friends, on my family members. So I'm a big fan of this brand and I feel like I have enough knowledge in this topic to actually create a best of video. So I'm very excited about this one. Today I'm going to talk about all of the products that I consider to be the best and also of course slap them onto my face to create what I like to call a clean Fenty look. So I hope you guys love this video. I hope you learn along with me and without further ado, let's get into it. Remember to subscribe if you aren't already, notification bell, Wednesdays and Sundays videos, reminder, and now let's do this. The best of Fenty, here we go, in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, here we go. So the first product that I am going to start out with is actually a newer product and it is the new Eaze Drop Lit All Over Glow Enhancer. This is a $34 product, I believe. And although some people have mistaken this for a highlighter, a liquid highlighter, it's not quite as blinding as a traditional highlighter is meant to be. This instead is a glow enhancer. So this is something that you can mix with Fenty's original Pro Filter foundation, or the way that I'm going to be wearing it today is as a primer underneath my Fenty Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint. Think of this as like a primer slash glow enhancer. In fact, if you read the description of this product on Fenty or on Sephora, one of the things that it's supposed to do is actually blur out your pores. So I'm gonna be using it not just for a glow, but also to blur out my imperfections. This actually has the consistency of a serum, so it dries down kind of solid, like your normal skin texture. It doesn't feel sticky. It doesn't really feel like anything at all. Definitely very serum-like. So that's what I like about it. So immediately you can tell that there's kind of like a luminous glow on my forehead. The shade that I'm using is Taffy Topaz, which is shade 2. It has like a slight golden tint to it, but really the main purpose of this product is to illuminate from within. All right, so then right on top, I'm gonna go in with my Eaze Drop. This is a $32 product. I like this one far more than Fenty's Pro Filter foundation. That foundation, although a lot of people love it and a lot of people swear by it, is not their best. It is not my favorite product from Fenty because quite simply, it is best on people with flawless skin. I am not someone who has flawless skin. I have oily skin. I have texture issues. I have breakouts, things like that. So for me, that foundation is a little bit too texture enhancing to be considered best in my book. But this Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint is a lot better for me. So right now I'm gonna be applying shade 10, which is a pinch light for me at the current moment, but I'm gonna make it work. It's kind of like the color between my cheeks and my forehead. It might be like a little too light for my forehead, but it might be okay for the rest of my face. I'm gonna use this Lawless foundation brush. Although Fenty does have some good brushes, I just don't have any clean and handy. So now the Eaze Drop is really a great product. I love it a lot. It gives a light to medium coverage, but what's best about this product in my opinion is that how well it blurs and how easily it becomes one with your skin so that it absolutely doesn't look or feel like makeup. It just gives you that very easy Fenty face, which is kind of what I'm going for today. Just like an easy, approachable, everyday Fenty face. So this is one layer of the Eaze Drop. You could potentially double it up in case you want a little bit more coverage. Like I want a little bit more coverage right here. I have some breakouts here, also a little bit in the jaw and maybe a pinch on the nose. This product has tons of shades, great undertones, very friendly for skin of color, especially when undertones are an issue. Traditionally, a lot of the bigger makeup brands are geared towards the majority, and a lot of the undertones in the makeup industry traditionally lean very pink and very neutral, and it's been kind of difficult to find like the right olive, the right warm undertones that suit a variety of POC skin tones. So the fact that Fenty really honed in on this, the fact that they worked on these undertones, on these skin tones, on this range so extensively. It really shows. And obviously it's a reason why so many people gravitate towards this brand, because they really were one of the first ones to showcase true inclusivity. I applaud them for that, and I will always be a fan. All right, so this is just like 2 very light layers, nothing too crazy, pretty much like outdoor and go type of coverage. But of course, I'm gonna add more. So for concealer, you guys probably already know, if you've watched my videos for a long time, you know how I feel about the Fenty Bright Fix for the under eye. This one is like just such a great product for those of us who don't actually suffer from super dark, super pronounced under eye circles. So I'm one of those people. I do have like a little bit of discoloration under my eyes, but it's not a puffy under eye. It's not noticeably textured. I don't really have like wrinkles there or anything like that. I guess I'm blessed. For someone like myself who doesn't necessarily need a lot of coverage there, this is an ideal product. And also my favorite product for the summertime. It just looks so effortless. It definitely brightens the under eye. It covers, but it does so in a very, very natural and believable way. Again, probably the same reason why I love the Eaze drop so much is because it feels weightless, it's very intuitive, it's easy to apply, it stays on, and these two products together are a great marriage. So basically, I just like to dab this with my fingers wherever I need a little bit of lift or brightness. So under my eye, a little bit around the nostril folds, because that's where I get a little bit of redness, a little bit of irritation. Also, I feel like I'm a little bit swollen today. I did eat some salty foods yesterday, which lately I started reacting to. Sodium is not my friend. And I've been noticing this the day after, you know, I always end up looking a little swollen in my eye and nose area, so whatever. But anyway, this product definitely helps with all of that. Helps to conceal and camouflage and definitely brightens and lifts everything. My ideal method of applying this one is with my fingers because it warms up the product and it really melts it into your skin. Look how effortless that was. That is so easy. So the shade that I'm using now is actually my winter shade, 6. So it might be a little too bright and a little bit too glammy for right now that it's the summertime, but you get the idea. Also like to apply just a little bit between my eyebrows. This is where I tend to hold a lot of my tension. All right, easy peasy. I'm gonna quickly set the under eye, just the under eye, with this mini setting powder. This is in the shade Butter, and it's my favorite shade because it's almost a translucent shade, so it doesn't really change the color of your foundation or your concealer that much. But what's great about this product is that they have it in a variety of shades. Think like at least 5. Possibly more. All right, so just the under eye, but I am gonna set it aside because I'm oily, so I do need setting all over the face. But before I do all that, I actually wanna talk about some cream products that in my opinion are the best of Fenty. Number 1, I am talking about their cream bronzers. Now, their cream bronzers are really, really great. I love the undertones. They are truly very olive, and when bronzers are olive, I feel like it just makes your bronzy tan look a lot more believable than when the bronzers are orange leaning. So these are the 2 shades that I typically use. Shade number 3 Macchiato and shade number 5 Teddy. Shade Macchiato on my middle finger here is a little bit more neutral. It's a little bit cooler. Whereas this one, Teddy, has a lot more of like a golden undertone. So over here on my forehead, I like to use a little bit more of a golden tone. And then around the rest of my face, I like to use the lighter one because I don't really look great in a super dramatic contour. I like something that's a little bit more subtle. For me, just because my face is already on the sculpted side, I have very pronounced cheekbones, I have kind of like a really pointy nose, I have a very strong jawline. So for me, I don't really like to contour too harshly, otherwise my face and my features just become too square, too edgy. So for me, this is what I like to do. Just a little bit of bronziness and a little bit of sculpting. I'm gonna take a stiff brush like this. I'm gonna just stipple that into the foundation that I haven't yet set, make it melt and blend in. And that to me looks very, very, very believable. Bronzy, but not fake. And same thing with the cheekbones. Subtle shadow, but not heavily contoured. But wait, I have one more cream product that I am absolutely in love with. And it's actually one of only 2 cream contour products that I ever use. I am talking about the Fenty Matchstick in the shade Mocha. So this one is basically a solid version of the cream bronzer. However, the matchstick is much more of a on-the-go type of product. So this is something that I think is very easy, and it's a little bit more precise because it comes in a stick formula. So what I like to do with this is add a little bit of contour underneath my bottom lip, a little bit around the nose tip, maybe a pinch right here. And of course, if I want a little bit more shadow along my cheekbones, this is another product that I like to use. This I use very, very sparingly and only on some occasions. But what's great about it is the color, is the shade. The shade is just like truly representative of a shadow. There's no way you could mistake it for a bronzer. There's no way you could mistake it for warming up your skin tone. So to me, it is the ideal contour stick. The other one that I use is actually from Pixi, so it's their Sheer Sculpt Balm, also a stick, very, very similar undertones. So if you're looking to get a super easy, reliable cream contour in a stick formula, this is it. This is the one. And Mocha is actually meant for lighter skin tones, but for me, I really like it specifically for just a very subtle contour for my skin tone. So if you're tan, if you're medium, you can definitely get away with using the shade. This isn't necessarily meant just for like the lightest skin tones. This is what they recommend, but I think if you want subtlety, this is the one to go for. Okay, so then the rest of my contour, I'm gonna blend out with this brush, kind of just like massage it in, blend it in. I hardly ever contour the nose, but when I do, this is what I use. All that stuff that I see on TikTok, all the crazy contour hacks and all this baking and all these crazy stripes, that just simply does not work on someone with my features. So now that I've blended that out, I'm gonna go back to my brush and whatever's remaining on the brush, which is probably not much, I'm just gonna go over everything very lightly and kind of just buff and stipple and just seal everything in. I'm almost at a point where I'm about to seal the face with powder, but I have to talk about probably my top favorite Fenty product. I don't know if it's my top fave, but let's just put it this way. This is the first top fave Fenty product that I have come across, and it's in the order of which Fenty has released products. It is actually their cream blushes. These are so good, you guys. These are probably the best cream blushes on the market. I love the formula. I love the shades. They are so unexpected. There's this purple Drama Class. There's this beautiful peachy petal pink. Petal Poppin' is the name. There's also this brighter peach face. Bikini Martini is probably my #1 favorite. And my last favorite is probably Crush on Cupid. But of course they have many more shades for various skin tones. There's definitely cooler blushes. There's more neutral blushes, like something that you could wear on an everyday basis. But just the fact that there's variety, the fact that there's purples and oranges and like beautiful peaches, and the formula is so nice, it works with other Fenty products so beautifully, is just like, I don't know how to describe it, but it makes me giddy. Ah, there's one more. Fuego Flush. This one is such a stunning color. I know it looks crazy orange, but this looks amazing. So you know what? I'm gonna go for this one. I'm gonna show you how pretty this is and how easy it is to use. So basically, this is a very similar formula to their bronzer that I just applied. I just like to hug the cheek with this gorgeous shade. This is such a pretty carrot color blush that actually looks surprisingly refreshing and wearable on medium, on tan, and on deeper skin tones. Like it kind of just like blends out into nothing, but there's this hint, there's this just beautiful sun ray type of shade to it that I'm obsessed with. So of course you can layer this, you can make this brighter if you want, but I just like it to be subtle today. I'm doing what to me is a classic Fenty face, kind of just slapping that around, blending that with the rest of my skin, like that, boom. And then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and set everything with the powder. Now you might have already noticed that my brows are done, and that's simply because I don't actually think that Fenty has the best brow products out there. Also, they just don't have enough, so their products for the brows are not necessarily the worst, but they're definitely not the best. And there's not enough of a variety, so that's why I went ahead and just used other products for my brows, because this video is about the best of Fenty, so I'm only gonna be using what I think, or what I deem to be the best. Obviously, this is an opinion video. Obviously, I have a specific skin type, I have a specific brow type, so everything that I'm talking about today is what has worked for me and why I consider it to be the best. But this next product that I'm going to mention is not only the best of Fenty, it is actually my favorite product in this category. I'm talking about eye primers. You guys know how much I love, how much I'm obsessed with my Fenty Pro Filter Eye Primer. This one, by far, is superior to everything else that I've tried. I have super oily lids. This eyeshadow primer keeps my oils locked away. It also helps not just Fenty eyeshadow, but any eyeshadow for that matter, apply better, apply stronger, faster and bolder, you know? What I like about this one is that it is part sticky, but it is also part smoothing. So it smooths out the canvas or your lids. It also gives you a little bit of a sticky base. And then bonus, it totally controls your oils on your lids. So to me, this is the perfect product. It is my favorite eyeshadow primer that I have ever tried from any brand. Okay, so lids are now prepped and primed with my favorite primer of all time. And now onto eyeshadow. Let me just speak off the cuff. Fenty Beauty is not actually known for their eyeshadows. They do have tons of eyeshadow palettes, but it's not something that's talked about much. Basically, they have a bunch of these little snappable types of palettes. They are numbered 1 through 10, but I actually believe there's 11. I have all of them. They come in different little color combos. There's a green, there's like a purpley neutral, there's like a cooler one, kind of like an olive, and so on and so forth. There's lots of them, but the one that I actually reach for the most in my daily life is this bigger one. So this is an eyeshadow palette and also a face palette, again, snappable. So one of the palettes, or the bottom of the palette, has these diamond bombs, which I'm not a huge fan of for using on my face, but I do like it for the body because it's kind of like a dry glitter. But I'm not talking about that just yet. I'm actually talking about the eyeshadow palette. This eyeshadow palette, although not super innovative or anything you have not seen before, it has mattes and it has shimmery shades. This is a very, very wearable palette, and one that you can probably tell I dip into a lot in my real life. And this is a lot for me because I own probably close to 500 eyeshadow palettes. Yeah, I said that. So this one actually lives on my makeup table, and whenever I need like a quick little eyeshadow look, this is what I use. So today I'm gonna show you what I basically do if I need a very basic Fenty eye. So I'm gonna dip into this warm shadow here using this Laura Mercier Clay Smudge brush. And as I mentioned before, my lids are like a little bit swollen today from the food that I had yesterday, so I'm going to lift them in a very gentle and believable way. I'm gonna basically add a little bit of shadow right here in the outer portion of my eye socket, and then bring it down to the outer corner. And then I'm gonna take a fluffier brush, this Dose of Colors blending brush basically, and I'm gonna soften all of that so that you barely notice that it's there. This is very close to my skin color, or at least the undertone is, so this is like the perfect shadow or contour color for my eye, just to give it that little bit of definition and that little bit of lift that I need today. And basically I'm just blending that into my brow bone like that. So then looking at this eye versus this eye, you can immediately tell that it's just a little bit happier now. It looks a little bit more open in the center because I curved the outer corner and I kind of lifted it up. So these types of colors are perfect for that, for someone with my complexion. So don't sleep on this palette. If you need something that's good for just every day, something quick and easy, this one is a really good one. And I really like it. I'm not really sure why more people don't like it, or why Fenty is not known for their eyeshadow palettes, but to me this is a really, really good neutral palette if you need something for every day, for work, for errands, for fixing a quick droopy eye, you know? And also I will mention, although these shades look like they're all on the warmer side, there are cooler shades here, and these I would call more on the neutral side, so they're not as warm as one might think, which I think is great for every day because warm shadows definitely do remind us of those 2018 makeup days, whereas cooler shadows are a little bit more of a further throwback into the 2000s. So neutral is always neutral. It will always be neutral. It'll always work. Okay, so now that I have this like basic shape happening, I'm gonna go back to the fluffy brush. I'm gonna dip into this lighter shade here. These actually do have names, and what's cool is that the name corresponds to the color. So this is color coded, which makes it much easier for someone like myself who doesn't actually remember the placement of the eyeshadow if it's not color coded. So in this instance, I know exactly what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Cinnabutta, which is this shade here, this shade there. And this shade I'm just gonna take directly along my eye socket and just clean up and blend a little bit more into the brow bone. So now that looks even more natural. So typically I would probably just like leave this look as is. I would just add a little bit of mascara, maybe liner, and call it a day. But of course you could always dress it up. There's enough shimmery shades in here to really play up this eye. So I'm gonna go for this pinky shade here. It's kind of like the palest one. It's got like a pearly pink undertone to it. Ballerina is the name, I love that. And this, I'm just gonna pop to the center just to brighten, just to give this eye look a little bit more sparkle, just like a hint of color, just a little bit more girliness, a little bit more flirtiness. Obviously it's not necessary, but I just wanted to show you that that is an option. And then for the inner corner, I'm just gonna go for the palest shade here, like a pale cream. I'm gonna pop that in the inner corner. I personally love a good matte inner corner highlight. I think it's very fresh and very wearable, and it does a great job of opening up and making your eye look more awake. Also gonna pop that in the brow arch right there. And then the last thing I'm gonna do with the eyeshadows is take a slightly pointed fluffy brush. I'm gonna go into this shade here, which is a little bit browner and a little cooler than this first shade that I used. And with this one, I'm just gonna flick it kind of along my temple, along the top of my cheekbone. Like if I could lay something on my cheekbone, this would be the direction. So basically I'm flicking that in that direction. I learned this trick from a good friend of mine who's a makeup artist. And this is just like such a clean and such an easy way to glamorize and to lift the eye. So you don't necessarily need to make it connect to anything. I think that will be just a little bit more purposeful, a little bit more planned, if you will, but this just looks so easy, like you just casually brushed it up, you know? And the fact that I'm using a cooler shadow almost makes it look like I'm born with it, you know? Like that. Super, super, super simple. All right, and then the reason why I'm not so much talking about liners or mascara when it comes to Fenty is because to me, they don't have a really great range of mascaras. They don't have a waterproof formula, which is what I typically go for. Now, I'm not crazy about their felt tip markers. Some people like them. I don't particularly care for those, so I'm not gonna spend much more time talking about it. Instead, I'm just gonna grab a mascara that I like, which is a waterproof Lancome Lash Idole. I'm gonna curl my lashes, add a couple of coats of that, and pretty much I'll be done with the eyes. So I guess that's something that I would love to see from Fenty. I would love to see a great waterproof mascara. Maybe it doesn't have to be fancy. It could just be a simple wand and just a good waterproof formula. For those of us with epicanthic folds, usually a common feature of Asian eyes. So what happens with the epicanthic fold is that your lashes can sometimes get caught in this little fold, and then if you're wearing mascara, then it'll smudge if it's not waterproof. So that is why I always stick to the waterproof formula, specifically because of this epicanthic fold, because it just does not allow me to be totally free while wearing a non-waterproof formula. You see how like this little lash is just so close to that little fold, and like when I smile, it smudges. Not that anyone needed to know that, but I'm just saying I would love a waterproof mascara from Fenty. I feel like they can give me a good one. But for today, I'm using Lancome. And now let's move on to some highlighters. So in the highlighter category, we have a number of different products from Fenty, one of which is the Killawatt highlighter. One of my favorites is the Trophy Wife. It is one of their first products that they came out with. Actually, this was part of the first launch, and this is my second Trophy Wife highlighter. So as you can see, it's untouched and it's brand new. This one is very, very unique and not for everyone, but I absolutely love it because it's just so different and it's so avant-garde. It's just like this crazy bright yellow gold that I always associate with Fenty. And you know what? While we're at it, maybe I should add a little bit of that. I'm gonna add just a little bit of this Trophy Wife highlighter to my inner corner. It is so gold, it is so sparkly, it is so crazy and over the top. I'm gonna add it here too. I mean, this totally dresses up the look and it takes it to another level. And after this video, I'm actually just gonna meet up with my mom. We're gonna go get pizza. So I'm definitely not doing anything that's on another level today, but I just wanted to show you why I love this. This is one of those go-tos if you want to shine, if you want to be looked at, if you want to be the center of attention in the room, this highlighter will absolutely get you that attention. But I'm not gonna use that. Anyway, in this Killawatt highlighter category. They also have tons of other wearable highlighters, but I don't really care for those that much. This one is the one for me just because it's so bright and so different. But if you're looking for something more subtle, they definitely have more subtle. Also in the highlighter category, as I mentioned before, Fenty has something called the Diamond Balm, and this is very, 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 very sparkly. Too sparkly for the face in my opinion, but this is something that I like to use on my body, on my shoulders, on my collarbone. Let's say I'm wearing something that's open here or strapless. This is absolutely beautiful because it's a dry glitter, but it will give you that glow all over your skin. So this is really easy and fun to wear, but I wouldn't put it on my face. Unless of course I'm going to a concert or like something way over the top, like a festival. So I guess today I'm gonna skip highlighters because I'm not gonna put Trophy Wife on my face, and I'm not really like crazy about their other highlighters. These are not meant for the face, so we're not gonna do highlighter. We are gonna move straight onto lips. Another product that I wish Fenty would add to their arsenal of products is lip liners. They have so many incredible, amazing lip products, from the non-transferable lipsticks, the Stunna lip paints, to their gloss bomb creams, to the regular gloss bomb, to the heat. There are so many options to choose from. They even have some beautiful lip balms that I absolutely love. They have lip stains, not to mention tons of different lipsticks, from matte to satin to wearable colors to over-the-top colors. One thing that I wish they would have is actually some lip liners. So for today, I'm gonna go for the lip liner that I've been wearing all summer pretty much. The Charlotte T Pillow Talk 2 in medium. I'm already wearing a little bit of it on my lips, but it looks really bad and smudged. I don't know how that happened. And for today, I guess since I mentioned the lip balms, I'm gonna go for the lip balms. I don't think I've ever featured the lip balms on my channel, but I do wear them quite often. They have lovely colors. They come in really genius tubes that I absolutely love. The colors are very, very flattering, very wearable. Here I have the shade Pinch Me and also Cocoa Drizzle. Cocoa Drizzle is a little bit more on the cooler brown side, and Pinch Me is a little bit more peachy, so I'm gonna go for Pinch Me. Look how stunning. Super, super glossy, but comfortable on the lips, not goopy at all, not sticky. The consistency of this, I would say, is between an oil and a lip gloss. It is pretty pigmented for a lip balm, but the fact that it comes with a doe foot applicator and a squeezy tube is what I love the most, so you can get the most out of the product. And I guess that leaves me with nothing else to do but to show off this final face and to model it for you guys. This is my Fenty face. And this is the look that I put together using the best Fenty products. I wanted to go for something very easygoing, something very clean, very attainable, achievable, kind of like an everyday face that you could easily glam up if you add some liner, if you add a little bit more color, or something that you could totally tame down. But I wanted to show you all of my favorite products, what I consider to be the best from Fenty Beauty, from Rihanna's beauty line, which I actually happen to think is one of the best makeup brands out there, just because it continuously keeps coming out with good, innovative products. They really try to cater to every single skin tone, so this is a very inclusive brand, and it just makes you feel like you belong. It makes you feel like there's a place for you in the Fenty Beauty range. So that's why I had to kind of combine all of my thoughts and really give you this video with all the best. All right, you guys, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching and for tuning in. Thanks for making it to the end. Let me know what are some of your favorite products from Fenty. What other brands should I film the best of? Let me know, comment below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Zooming on out, you are checking out more of my videos over here, and I am saying farewell. Mwah! Peace out, and I'm out.